Turkey scores and drone-on-drone violence. It says a new chapter in air combat. Kizilelma launches the Gokdoan. I think my comments have tried to teach me how to say it, and I'm probably still wrong. It's an indigenous unmanned fighter, aka drone, launched an indigenous air-to-air missile for the first time, and it was BVR, which is the difference. Here's a video I'd like to show you. I was also informed that the man speaking is like the owner of the company or some engineer or something. He's not a fighter pilot. He's just riding in the family model of the mighty Viper, which I'll also point out to those people that will correct me. All F-16s are Vipers, and if you think otherwise, you're a nerd. Let us begin. That man right there. He is important for some reason.
Okay.
I think he had designed it. He's the engineer. He's the chairman or the CEO of the company that did this.
That's cool.
There it is. It's the same size as a Viper.
Yeah.
Big airplane. It's the only one with his landing light on, though. Little drone footage there. Drone-on-drone footage. Single engine, so I know you don't like it.
Look at that, dude. He's got an afterburner.
Yeah. So does that.
Yeah.
So does that.
Dude, that's some cool footage.
Today we have opened the doors to a new era in aviation history. For the first time in the world, an unmanned combat aircraft fired an air-to-air missile with radar guidance and hit an aerial target with perfect accuracy. Our entirely indigenous and original, oh God, Bayraktar, whatever, successfully completed this historic mission with the SL-SLAN Murad radar, which is an ESA radar, by the way.
I think it's bigger than the Viper, isn't it?
It's about the same. It's a 33-foot-ish wingspan. It looks like a J-20 there. The doors to next-generation aerial warfare have been opened. As an engineer, son of this nation, I extend my gratitude. So he's an engineer to everyone in the Turkish Armed Forces and defense industry. Baykar may be beneficial for our homeland.
Yeah, my thoughts. I know you were going to ask.
I think I already made a video on this, so you go ahead, please.
Yeah, dude. I haven't watched your video yet. I should have. As deep intel, but no, dude. I think it's awesome that they're designing their own stuff. You know, what do I think about a drone shooting BVR? I mean, I think the technology's probably been around for a while. They've actually gone out and done it. I'm surprised though they didn't show it. You know, we saw the missile going. I wonder, did it ever say what? I mean, was it another like a QF-16 or what was it? Did they ever say? Just another unmanned drone?
Yeah, it's jet. It was jet powered. That was the other thing. It was a jet powered.
Yeah, some things that have questions in my mind just to kind of nerd out about it is like okay, it has an ESA radar. I mean, did it do its own targeting? You know, or
yes,
it did its own targeting.
Yes, that's the thing is it used its own radar and targeted.
Wow. Well, if it was able to autonomously take off, go out and find a target, detect the target, lock it, identify it as the target, and successfully shoot it, that's pretty cool, man. I mean,
a target drone is what it shot at.
Yeah. I mean, were the other F-16s? I guess when I was watching it, I thought maybe the other F-16s, it was kind of like it was acting as like a wingman, right? Force multiplier. But I guess they were just there for the photo op and
shoot it down if it
goes crazy. It's like, yeah, dude, I think it's it's where I think air power is going to some capacity. Like we've talked about it, force multipliers. So I mean, dude, to give a drone, a ESA, and BVR missile like that.
So it says what the Turkish Armed Forces chief said. Today we have opened the doors to a new era in aviation history. For the first time in the world, an uncrewed combat aircraft fired an air-to-air missile with radar guidance and hit an aerial target with perfect accuracy. So there you go. It's the Aselsan's Murad radar and the BVR active guided Gokdoğan missile. He's become the first country in the world to achieve this.
Dude, I think it's awesome. I mean, if it's self-contained, completely autonomous, that's pretty cool. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. It kind of scares me a little bit. I wonder.
It might have used its Erst though, because it hasn't Erst.
Oh, for to cue the weapon.
Targeting. Yeah,
for targeting. Yeah, which would be even cooler, right? Because Erst BVR it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I guess it's not clear. They didn't actually say. I'm just looking at these other articles.
Right.
What was guided?
Did it use its own radar to guide the missile, or
that's what's not clear. It's not clear if it was. I mean, I'm assuming so. I mean, it has an ESA radar that could obviously do the work.
Right. But if they fed it the data, which I mean, it's still a cool, it's still a cool feat. Even if they did feed it the data, or if one of the other F-16s was the one that was actually acquiring the target. The whole argument or support behind, a weapon like that is force multiplier, right? Something you can send down range if it's super high risk, thin out the herd if needed, whatever the picture is ahead of you. So it's cool that Turkey's doing this, man.
Well, what's interesting is if it's fully autonomous and you don't need to be a loyal wingman. So
that's why I was curious about, who's, I mean, there's things that happen, right? There's things that happen when you go out and take a BVR shot. So who or what is making those decisions? Who or what is actually, driving that process, I guess, is what I'm curious about. And the video didn't really address it. I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, but it was more propaganda. I mean, the way they portrayed it, right? There really wasn't much detail behind it other than showing, right, and the missile going, and then we didn't see it hit anything. But I'm not saying it didn't hit anything, but
well, if you think about it, though, I mean, you talk about the stuff that has to happen for BVR.
Yeah, it's a lot.
None of that is beyond programming.
Yeah.
And in fact, I would argue that it's easier, right?
It is.
I think the hardest thing would be BFM because that's more fluid. But when you're talking, a picture and targeting responsibilities and when do you shoot, when don't you shoot, all that stuff, dude, that's just numbers that you memorize. That's just, I mean, you teach it that.
It is. You're right. And that's the other thing is like, I'm sure it was a completely cooperative, fly straight ahead, non-maneuvering target, right? So, I mean, like I said, the video leaves a lot of questions in my mind, but surface level, I think it's really cool. I've never heard of or seen another drone shoot anything BVR with success. So, my hat's off to him for doing that. I'm just curious, as a fighter pilot, somebody who's done BVR, I'm just curious about the nerd stuff behind it, which, until they release something a little more technical, which they probably won't, at least for a long time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's classified.
So, but I think it's cool, man. I mean, hey, they're pushing the envelope. They're doing what they need to do. They're enhancing their own aerospace and defense technologies. And I think that's cool. You don't want to be too reliant on, other countries for that stuff. And they're doing what they can. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's cool. What's not to like?
Well, and that's the other piece is, we've focused on this drone, but the other, I think, kind of newsworthy part of this, and I didn't talk about this much on my video, is the indigenous missile. Being able to produce your own BVR, AMRAM-ish missile is huge.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, when you're at war, what's going to run out first?
Yeah.
So like if you can mass produce these missiles and these drones, you have an edge just by that. Just by itself. Just the fact that you can produce, 10,000 missiles and 500 drones, dude, that is your force multiplier. Because you don't have to train any pilots for it. Put as many drones as you want. You just copy paste.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, where it goes, and if US, China, Russia follow suit. I'm sure there's stuff in the works, man.